Hi guys, this morning I wanted to do a quick video on the Lowa breacher boot, which is a GORE-TEX mid. Obviously it's a black boot. So I can't remember how long ago, I don't know if it was 2-3 years ago, Lowa had a big sort of redesign of their boots. So if you remember, they used to have the Combats, the Lowa Combat, and the Lowa Mountain and the Lowa Patrol. So they sort of binned off the Lowa Patrol and the Mountain, and then they introduced this one, which is a breacher, and obviously it's a redesign with a Combat as well. So here it is, and I just wanted to have a brief look at it. So I'll be interested if anybody's had one for the last year or so, you know, comment on below and tell us what you think, because you know, some of the customers that have bought them from us, it's too, you know, they've only been wearing them for a short period of time, so it's always interesting to find out a little bit more how people get on with them. And I think that's probably the best thing in time is getting people's reviews then, and you know, that sort of helps everybody, especially if it's something that you're thinking about purchasing. So I'll do the same sort of thing again. Well, I'll go through what they're actually saying, the manufacturer, regarding the boots. We'll have a quick look. This is, by the way, this is a size 8. It's a big difference between the Patrol or the Mountain boot. You know, when you look at it, it is quite a different design. So if I read down, look, it says here, the replacement for the Lowa Mountain boot GORE-TEX, the Lowa Breacher boot GTX is a part of a completely new modular system of mission boots. 2 heights, 4 colours, 3 leather variations, and the option of either having 100% GORE-TEX performance comfort footwear, membrane or not. So this is a GTX model, so this has the membrane. The Lowa Breacher boot GTX ankle is a ankle high upper, offers an ideal combination of stability and freedom of movement. In addition to the comfortable dual density PU midsole with integrated arch support for long tabs, yomps, rucks, or marches, the certified ankle protection system with I think that's Paignton technology. So okay, we'll just stop there for a minute. So it's a mid-height boot, as you can see. It's definitely, you know, from the Combats and Patrols were sort of like straight across. This is now tapered down a little bit for your Achilles and so forth. So the Paignton, I think, is this. I don't know if you can see it on there. It's just basically a protection, and you've got it on both sides. And by the way, what we'll do is we'll get some close-ups of the boot so you can see exactly, you know, some detail a little bit later. So it's, like I say, my first impressions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 lacing. They're enclosed, by the way, as well, so they're all enclosed. Now on the fourth one up, you have a locking mechanism here that you can lock it. So that will obviously lock the bottom half of the lacing system to save it, you know, getting too loose. I find you've got to be careful with this because, you know, it can damage the laces. So just be careful you get no muck or grit and stuff like that in there, which causes more abrasion to the laces, which obviously can, you know, cause it to break. A combination of highly abrasive resistant breathable Cordura material. So we know the Cordura material is in the tongue, etc. These Lowa boots are EN ISO 20347 certified and are classified as occupational footwear. This means that at the very least they can be expected to offer a reasonable degree of protection against oil, water and penetrative forces. The Vibram Vanguard sole means the highest anti-slip standard. Slip protection depends primarily on the design and the rubber compound of the outsole. The Lowa Breacher boot provides optimal slip protection on slick, wet, oily surfaces as well as good grip on terrain. The sole is resolable. That's interesting to know in the UK where you can get it resoled. All right, so that's something that you need to probably look at if you are thinking about having it resold, because at this moment I don't know who's going to resell this, so I'll try and find out and get it down there. The 2-zone lacing system used in the lower breacher means the forefoot and the upper have their own separate adjusting lacing zones. That is pretty much what I said about the lock-off system on there. 100% polyurethane, midsole, PU, 100% GORE-TEX Professional Performance Comfort Footwear Membrane. That's a long word to say. I don't know what the difference between ordinary GORE-TEX and GORE-TEX Professional. So what I've done is I have actually emailed them to give me an explanation. What does GORE-TEX Professional mean compared to other GORE-TEX membranes? Because I don't know. So hopefully I'll find that out and add that to the video at some point. It says here the weight is 1,600 grams per pair. I don't know what size that is, so I can just lob it on this one a minute and just see which. Like I say, this is a size 8, so if I just whack this 2 grams, about 815 grams, okay, that weighs size 8. My first look at it is that we have a rand, like a toe rand here. I quite like this because it's not a rand that goes all the way around. So I don't know if you've experienced it before, but when you have a rand that comes all the way around, on your toe flex here, the bloody thing cracks sometimes, okay? Or it just when if you're toe flexing a lot, it does cause an issue there. So I quite like this because it will not affect the rand on a toe flex, or at least I don't think it will. It's quite a high rand as well, which is quite cool. It looks a really nice boot. I've tried it on. I always find that the lower boots have always got a lot of stability and a lot of support. Probably it does suit. I mean, some people really like it. They like that support, that ankle support, and it is quite stiff. I mean, this uses between 2 and 2.2 mil leather, but it just feels, a lot more rigid. But now they've got a bit more of a shaped top piece. I think it's better than what it used to be with the patrols and the mountains, which used to come straight around at a height, and it used to irritate a lot of people. So I think that's really good. It's got like a little hook on the back, so if you want to carry it or you're putting it on, that gives you a little bit of extra. You've also got the high rand at the back. So many people, when they take their boots off, they just kick their boots off and cause a problem around this area. So that's going to give it some protection when, some people, when they take their boots off and, from general wear and tear as well. You have some extra cushioning at the top. This is what I noticed as well. On here, you've got like a little pocket, right? So the laces are not like super long. So when you do the knot up, you can actually, I think, enclose the laces inside. I know it's hard for you to see, but you can actually enclose it in there and put the little cover down. That looks pretty cool. So that's good. So that'll stop you from tripping over and all the rest of it. It has a panel knocked out here, which you can probably see. Now in the combat, the higher version, that's not there, okay? So the breacher, whether it's the GTX or the the GTX or the non-GTX, you have this cut out here. It's a nice boot. I mean, the sole unit is obviously a Vibram sole unit, and it looks pretty substantial. It does look good. I don't know a massive amount about the Vanguard, but I'm sure it's very, very good. And again, let me hear from you if you've used this sole unit before. The upper height inside to outside is 145 to 190 mil. Certified working boot, according to, we've mentioned that. Available in sizes 3.5 up to 12. That includes the half sizes. Then from 12, I think it goes 13, 14 and 15. So there's a pretty good size range on that. It uses what they call as well a stiff board, which means that we are glued right onto the midsole. Or this is where I'm reading it. So it's a stiffer kind of board. So if you see something on there which you go, what does that mean? There's generally there's not a massive amount of information to try and find it, especially on their website. I had a quick look to see you know, what all this meant. But, you know, I'll try and do a little bit more digging. And if I can find out anything more, then I'll let you know. So I'm wondering what you think. Have you had them before? Have you worn them? You know, Lowa have been going on since, crikey, what is it, 1923. So they are a very good manufacturer. You know, you always know you're going to get, you know, pretty good quality with them. And, you know, they've been very, very popular over the years. So I'll be interested to see how you get on with this. And hopefully that's given you a little bit of information. The retail price at the moment is between $240 and $250. There's a bit of an offer going on at the moment, but if you're watching this in a few years' time, then God knows what the price will be as things go up. So hopefully that is an interest. Like I said, if anybody's worn them or if anybody's got any comments from their experience with them, get them in the comments below, and hopefully that'll help other people that are thinking about, you know, purchasing this boot. But it does look a nice boot. And I don't think you'll go wrong. So if you're in the police, security, you know, or even if you're doing a lot of outdoor walking in rural areas and stuff, you're going to get a lot of protection from this boot. So I think it's a positive upgrade from Lowa, and I'm sure it will do very well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.